For years I've been seeing you in my dreams, and lately, more and more. I know it's you, but I can no longer recognize your face. I don't know if I'd recognize you if I saw you. I hope your condition hasn't worsened much since you last wrote. I can hardly imagine what a nightmare you're going through. Remember, you're not alone. I'm sure our father would be happy to help, if only you asked him. I assure you that for now, I haven't said a word to him about your search or your health, just as you requested. He doesn't know your intention, and with God as my witness, he'll not find out from me. I know you think the only thing that can help you is a miracle. But such itinerant miracle workers, preachers, and folk mystics often take advantage of those in grave condition who are desperate or seeking help. I hope the man you're pursuing can actually ease your mind. But if not, remember that in the end, we will find a way to help you. Just because we can't see it now, does not mean it doesn't exist. Send word as soon as you get there. I want to know you're safe. With as much love as I have. Ligia.
Could you spare a moment for me? I'd like to send a telegram.
Of course. Pardon me, sir, but are you feeling all right?
Yes, thank you.
You're not looking your best.
Thank you.
What's your message?
Take this down, please. Arrived. Very beautiful views. People honest at first glance. Sincerely, your barely living cripple.
I didn't mean to cause offense.
Well, then strike that, please. Take this down, please. Arrived. I think I have found him. I hope he will receive me. I will write as soon as I am able.
And payment?
On receipt.
Anything to add at the end?
Please add, my love to you, my sister.
Touching. From whom?
My name is Viktor Szulski. S-Z-U-L-S-K-I. And Viktor with a W, not a V.
Interesting name. Where's this headed?
Warsaw. Russia.
And this is supposedly Georgia. Russia here and Russia there. Russia everywhere, on every map.
Maps change. I know. Let's get on with it.
Pardon?
I was talking to myself. Which way to the village?
The coachman is picking up the mail. Maybe he'll give you a ride.
Thank you.
Loony.
Hello. Are you going to the village by any chance?
Hello there. Where else? There's nowhere to go here, sir. The station, the village, and the cemetery. That's all. A horse can't go any higher.
The village is what interests me.
Well, if you've got reason to be there, climb in.
So is it just locals living in the village?
Who else would want to live in a shithole like this?
I actually meant, is there anyone visiting? A guest?
Ah, you came for some healing. Well, he's no guest here. He's been here months, my friend. The people are tormented, so he's sure got folks to heal.
Where might I find him?
I bet he's still in the tavern. He prays this time of day. Oh, he prays a heck of a lot. You getting in, or what?
Can you wait for me a minute? I want to take a look around.
Well, I'm not going to leave you now, am I?
Thank you.
All set?
I'd be grateful.
Always nice to have someone to shoot the breeze with. Nothing to see around here. This is everything. Hard to get lost in this place. Head to the tavern over there, past the little square, up the steps. They'll tell you where the preacher's at. Or this time of day, he'll be there himself.
Thank you. Gentlemen, is this the tavern here?
Hey, Putnik. You coming from far?
Indeed, I'm tired.
Nice boots. Are they warm?
Actually, I have particularly warm boots. Thanks.
And sooner or later, these might kick their arses.
Don't tempt me, Luca. Don't tempt me. Give me a sec. Got to sort out formalities with this tourist.
It's your snummy. We're the Tsar's soldiers.
Those don't look like soldiers' faces. Closer to thieves.
I don't think he'll talk to us voluntarily.
Serves the Ruskies right. They won't report us. They'll be too embarrassed to admit some cripple got the better of them.
Good boy. Forgive me, sir. Is your name Grigory Efimovich Rasputin?
I forgive you.
I'm sorry. It's just I've been looking for you for a very long time,
And you expected a thinking simpleton, an illiterate who swindles sick people and claims he can speak to God himself. I already said I forgive you.
Yes, I've heard. Especially in Petersburg. I've also heard about the healings, even hopeless cases. Inexplicable ones.
And what do you believe in?
If you help me, I'll believe all of it. And please believe me when I say I've tried everything short of a miracle. And I know the meaning of that word. I'm a thaumaturge.
Where are you coming from?
I first learned of you in Paris. A charismatic miracle worker from Russia. I even heard about you from my doctors. By the time I got to Petersburg, you were already gone. I've crossed almost 3 continents, through Siberia, India, and half of Europe. But if you're asking me about my origins, I'm from Poland.
From which Poland? The Russian one, the German one, or the part that belongs to Austria?
From Warsaw.
Do you have a name?
Viktor Szulski.
On my path, I've already come across people who've lied to me about their problems, and then gone around calling me a charlatan. After them, others arrived, with pitchforks and torches, and I had to endure insults and spit in my face, or flee for my life. And now you say you're a wizard from an imaginary country that no one has seen on a map in over 100 years. Forgive my amusement. I haven't had my first coffee yet.
I forgive you, and I'm still asking for help.
Prove you're a thaumaturge, and I'll hear what you have to say.
What would you like me to do, sir?
I've met a few of your kind, so I know what you're capable of. Find something in this tavern that belongs to me, and tell me something only I could know.
First, I need to have something personal that belongs to you to learn your trace. It's a sort of pattern I'll use to recognize the other objects.
Smell this. Have you figured anything out yet?
I'll return to you in a moment.
I can hardly wait.
Let's take a look around. You will be mine, secret. Who would have thought there were such layers of passion within him?
What have you learned, wizard?
Well, you're a zealous man. It permeates every level of your personality, your faith, your abilities.
Not such an impressive discovery.
I haven't finished yet. In Petersburg, you left behind a very devoted and very young lady-in-waiting.
At least one, my friend. Have a seat. Tell me again, why were you looking for me?
A few years ago, I attempted to catch a wild salutor, and that ended with me losing contact with my first salutor. That means I can't develop my abilities. I know that my Uber is there. Sometimes he shows himself, but I can't feel the link anymore. Generally speaking, I'm losing it more and more each day. If it disappears, my mind... I'll lose my sense of reality. I'll fall into madness.
I don't know if I can help you.
I've got money, if that's what matters.
Give it to the needy. Your riches mean nothing to me. I meant I don't know if I'm able to help you. My gift is something I've received from God. Some I've helped, others I can't say. And I've never treated a thaumaturge.
Maybe just do the same with me as with the others.
We can try. Focus on my voice. You are safe. As long as you can hear my voice, you are safe. Let me gaze into your mind. Let me see through your eyes. Let me...
Where am I? Rasputin. There's no one in here. I need to get out of here. What is this sound? Shackles?
You're blind. You've never grasped the science of spotting the perfectly obvious. Can you still not see?
What do I supposedly not see?
Flaw clouds your vision. It always has. Pride. Your damned pride and sense of superiority.
I must have gotten that from you, father.
You'll lose, idiot. You always do. You're even losing against yourself. You can't see, but can you at least hear? You're weak, stupid, and blind. Do you hear me? Do you? Do you?
I can see, Father. Clearly.
Will you be lying there much longer? I wanted to sweep.
Where's Rasputin?
In the cemetery, chasing away evil spirits and giving people comfort. You all right?
Yes, yes. Absolutely.
I wanted to sweep.
I'm just heading out. It's so good to see you again. And something else. I saw him clear as day. It wasn't a vision. It was a salutor, unbound by a pact. A wild one. And if so, that means there's someone in the village with a flaw that's attracting it.
You talking to me?
I was praying.
I wanted to sweep.
What do we have here? What?
They'll all gawk, but without lifting a finger. Just, Vesna will bring it, Vesna will help. But if Vesna needs help with something, there's nobody to be found. That's not yours, don't touch! All these newcomers causing more problems.
Excuse me. I need to get to the local cemetery. Could you give me a lift?
I've only just come back from the post office this morning. I'm not getting the horse going again. Back to the cemetery. It's not like anyone there is going to run away. And look, my horse is more dead than alive.
I'll be right back. Thaumaturge never fails me. There is...
Over my dead body. I reject this verdict.
Well, I expected as much. And he wanted to come see you himself. He was first to judge.
I said what I said, and I won't change my mind. Go away. You're attracting gawkers.
Not gawkers. A witness. And let him listen. He'll see it fairly. Sir, this liar and thief here stole a memento of my mother. And this witch says I'm supposed to hand my goose over to him too?
Because you strangled mine. And what do I care about some trinkets your mother left you?
Because we already know you strangled the goose, but you still haven't proved that Bogdan stole your pendant.
Where is the justice here?
Why don't you relax and listen to the words of a wise woman?
Well, all in all, I'm sorry, Bogdan.
Come inside, and tell me what you're doing here.
The villagers seem to have a certain respect for you, ma'am, so I wanted to ask your help with something.
I'm not getting any younger, boy. Talk before I drop dead.
A lot of people benefit from your wisdom. They're superstitious and timid, as far as I've been able to figure out. Easy to control, right?
Pot calling kettle. That, my boy, that you can ask that charlatan with fancy dress and beard. Who takes advantage of who here? Bah! The people here are believers, of course. But the spirit in the village is real too.
Is this spirit you're talking about, not a person?
I heard it howling. That's nothing human. One evil spirit here persecutes people, and you can hear it now and then, sometimes. Tragedies attract it, and impure thoughts. We here call it a bukovac.
But other places probably call it other things.
An evil spirit's an evil spirit. It torments people and turns their weaknesses against them.
And what if I told you I could get rid of it?
I'd say I'll believe it when I see it. And I'd ask, how else can I help you?
Well then, I hope you'll still be alive when I get back, madam. Am I sensing? I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over. I'm telling you, go away, or I'll call for help! 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 Somebody help me!
What are you doing here, you tramp?
I'm not looking for trouble. I just wanted to talk.
We'll talk, all right.
The devil sent you.
You could say that, sure. I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over. Please leave. Please, please.
I'm not going anywhere.
Maybe you'll change your mind and drop me off at the cemetery after all.
Well, on the other hand, this place isn't much more exciting than the cemetery, and I meant to take the horse out for a ride, so get on.
You're alive. Does that mean I helped, Thaumaturge?
I see him. My Uber. He's back. I can feel our bond growing stronger as each moment passes.
I'm happy for you, but do restrain your joy. We're in the cemetery.
I don't have enough words to thank you for what you've done for me. I haven't felt this way in years.
I'm glad I could help.
When I heard you were at the cemetery, I was sure I'd see you resurrecting the dead.
Not yet. Today I'm just praying for rest for Vasily's soul. The whole village is suffering after his loss. He was the elder here.
He cursed this place. Since he died, darkness and misfortune have hung over the village.
You see? To them, every harm comes down to witchcraft. They believe that after Vasily's passing, the village was possessed by some monster that howls at night or some other Yaviets.
What changed in the village after the elder died?
It's all dreadful, sir. Everything's gone topsy-turvy. When folks get to arguing now, they're so hot-headed, before you know it, they're at one another's throats. Ladies have no patience for kids, nor lads for ladies, nor neighbors for neighbors. Any word might seem offensive and like an insult waiting to happen. Then you've got to fight.
Tragedies such as Vasily's death leave their mark on everyone. It takes time to come to terms with something like this. That doesn't mean this place is possessed by dark forces.
How did this elder die?
There was a fire, sir. Flames shooting sky high, and him burning, swearing, speaking curses. And the curse stuck. Those ruins seem a profaned place now. A wicked spirit has taken over the blighted land.
Don't encourage her. Once she gets going, it can't be stopped.
This could also be the work of a salutor.
What do you mean?
As you were healing me, I had a dream, a vision. But on the borderline of sleep and wakefulness, I thought I saw a salutor. That's what might be influencing the villagers in wailing at night.
They're good people, but none too bright, Victor. I'm afraid they might be talking about a train.
The wise woman was saying the evil spirit is a book of hatch.
Does the creature hunting you rattle chains, slither around, and have a mouth full of giant fangs?
A book of hatch.
Where did this elder live?
I'll show you. Let's allow Vasily's soul to rest for today. Amen.
Can you feel it? It's the smell of mystery.
What do you expect to find in this place? The fire was almost a year ago.
Time doesn't matter much here. I'm looking for clues and personal traces that will lead me to whoever is carrying the flaw that lured the salutor here.
I see. I thought I could be helpful to you, but I don't really understand what you're telling me.
People always leave behind individual bits of their personality, even on everyday objects and such. I can decipher the thoughts and actions imprinted on these objects, and then match them to their owner. This lets me gather immense knowledge about a person, especially if I need to find someone.
What else can you do?
Above all, flaws are deeply hidden marks left on human souls. They form under the influence of tragic events.
What does that have to do with salutors? Is that Latin?
Yes, from the word newcomer. People have always taken salutors to be spirits, demons, or imps.
Like from those fairy tales, the wise woman and the other old crones tell the locals.
Sometimes, those sorts of fairy tales and legends describe how humans perceive a salutor. They don't take a physical form. Salutors are attracted to the flaws hidden within people. Thaumaturges discover these flaws inside someone, bring them to the surface, and adopt them to lure the salutor. Those are the moments when I've usually failed. I haven't been able to hold on to a salutor. I didn't know how to bind one to myself.
What about you? Do you have a flaw?
I bear the flaw of pride.
I wouldn't have guessed.
And now? Thanks to your help, I can once again discover people's flaws and the salutors hiding behind them. And I think I'm now able to catch my second salutor. Why did you want to come here with me?
I have never gotten to know a thaumaturge so closely. I'd like to learn as much as possible about your abilities.
If I do manage to catch another salutor, that would be a very rare occurrence, in fact. An ordinary thaumaturge wouldn't even try it more than once. Only a few have multiple salutors.
Why?
Some have lost their lives trying, others their senses. I was close to madness. I lost my sense of reality. I didn't know what was true. But I know I can do it. I'm almost 100% sure.
Isn't this exactly the sort of thinking that caused your problems that led you to me?
That doesn't matter anymore.
Then what's changed?
This time, I've got you with me. I need to look around this place a little more.
I won't stop you.
True fear. A horrible death. This house was always full of fear, and its owner was still alive when the house caught fire. Someone wanted to kill him. The fire only covered up the crime. Another gave birth to the flaw that you attached to, didn't it? I'll find you when I track down the murderer. I know who owns this doll. Maybe I should give them back to her. She ought to know more about what happened here.
Victor! I hope you've got what you want now, Thaumaturge. Because I think it's time to get out of here.
Why the hurry, Father? We're the Tsar's men. How about the donation for the Tsar's army?
There are no Russian outposts here.
I think this is the guy with the nice boots.
You're the guy who trashed our comrades?
No, it must have been someone who looked like me.
Точно он.
Doesn't matter. At worst, we'll get the boots off your corpse.
There's somewhere else you have to get my boot out of. You're right, sir.
Me? Yes, but can these salutors also help you in a fight? Can you manipulate people and cast these demons into their minds?
Generally speaking, yes. Are you sure you're right, sir?
Call me Grigori.
Let's head back. I have to visit someone in the village who can tell me more about what happened here. woman's trace. Vesna and her husband both left traces of themselves at Vasily's burned-out farmstead. Lucas says Haley loves his wife. You think he loves her strongly enough to kill for her? You're right. It'd be better to ask Vesna about that. I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over.
Please open the door. I'd like to have a chat about your husband.
You'd better not be here when he gets back. He's not as talkative or polite as I am.
I know you're scared, but please, just open the door a crack and let me ask one quick question.
What do you want?
I think I've got something of yours. I found it by your father's burned-out farmhouse. You've imprinted your fear onto it. I know because I'm a thaumaturge. I want to help.
What do you want to know?
Where can I find your husband?
In the clearing by the forest. He's chopping wood with the others.
Thank you.
Get that thing out of here.
Again.
This time, it's a matter of life and death.
How is your search going?
Almost finished. I know who's attracting the Bukavach.
Can you reveal that secret?
It's Luca. It has to be Luca.
Do you still want to catch that salutor?
Yes, absolutely.
Despite the risk?
I hope I can persuade you to come with me.
That's an enormous favor you're asking me. I hope you'll be able to return it.
I give my word.
Did you hear? We're going to see Luca Bogosian.
I'm not here to fight.
Luca!
You shouldn't have threatened my wife.
Why did you do this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the one who brought the salutor here. The spirit that you all say arrived in the village after Vasily's death. The salutor is what's making fear consume you all and making you hot-headed. And it's because of your flaw, which has been within you since the murder took place.
A murder might just be about to take place.
Cut off his head.
What?
Tear off his head before he opens his mouth again!
Unless you're the one that killed him.
And I'd do it again if I could. Get out of here!
Here you are, Bukavat. professor's flaw is mine, and you are mine.
Crazy again, you blind fool.
A little faith, Thaumaturge. Focus on what's true. My voice is true. I am the truth, you see. Look.
Unbelievable.
How do you feel? Are you all right?
Well, I don't think I'm hallucinating, but that means I'm currently facing a crowd of furious lumberjacks with axes, so I'd say I've been better.
What? What? I'm telling the truth. I do it again. None of you understand anything. It's because of this magician. It's his fault.
The magician didn't kill Vasily. He didn't bring the evil here. You're a witch! To the stake with her! To the stake!
And you... why are you just standing there? Are you just letting them do this? Fine. I'll handle it myself. I did it before, and I can do it now.
What have you done? Go. You don't need to see this.
Nothing has to be decided at the moment. Certainly not things that can't be undone.
Well, exactly. Beat it, you scoundrels. There's enough blood in this village already.
Sharing a village with murderers?
You were the first to spill blood!
It's not the same. If that's the case, you're banished from the village. Get out of here! We'll burn away the impurity you left in our village. Phew.
Excuse me, sir. Do you happen to know when the train arrives? The postmaster said it's usually no more than an hour late, so it should be here any moment. I got a tougher question for you.
Pardon?
Will this train get me close to Albuquerque?
I'm afraid that's an ocean away, and even to the ocean you've got a ways to go.
Thank you. Ever since I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, I can't get my bearings. Things I've seen, sir. Places I've been. I just can't get to Albuquerque.
I wanted to send 2 telegrams, one to Warsaw and one to Paris.
Mr. Shulsky, I was meant to send for you when the driver came to get the mail. My condolences about your father. Do you still want to send something?
Did you come to say goodbye to me?
More like to share my fear. Your condition yesterday, after the fight with that Bukovac, it troubled me. I don't think my treatments are having a long-lasting effect. And you don't look the best. Do you feel all right?
I've just heard that my father is dead.
My condolences.
After your treatment, when I was hallucinating, I saw him. I heard his voice for the first time in years. I'm sure it was him. A strange feeling.
Maybe he came to say goodbye. Maybe it was his last chance to speak to you. A prophecy.
I hope not.
What do you intend to do now?
I have to bury my father in Warsaw. What about you?
Thanks to you. I don't think I have anything else to do here. I had a little time to think about what I saw in your mind. Tell me, Victor. Have you ever seen a human skull cracked open on the cobblestones?
Your question sounded like a threat.
Because it is, for all of us. I have. The skull of Franz Ferdinand himself, with his brain spilling out onto the sidewalk. I also saw the white steps in Odessa running with blood. A battlefield blanketed in lethal fog, with faceless beings emerging from it. This hasn't happened yet, but I saw it as clearly as I see you now. Thanks to you, I know that I can stop it. I know that I am part of history, and I can change it. Even at the cost of scorn, contempt, or my life. You promised me a favor, so Warsaw sounds perfect.
Warszawa! Warsaw! Warsaw! Last stop, Warsaw. Time to wake up.
It's clouding over.
The weather is like my mood.
Aside from the circumstances of the funeral bringing you back, you hadn't thought of ever returning here?
I hate this city. It always makes me think of the stench of vodka, sweat, and urine. Corruption, poverty, and trust me, no justice but street justice.
I'm sure something must have changed since you left.
But probably not for the better.
What about the people? Those close to you? You'll never miss them?
The only person I consider close is my sister. But Varsovians? Let's see. Workers are striking. They want to take advantage of the Tsar's visit to Warsaw. The protests are being violently suppressed. Last week, around a dozen people were killed. Polish Socialist Party militants attacked a train. They stole money, bonds, and explosive materials. They're also suspected of robbing a transport of Dutch pomade. The socialists in Warsaw must look pretty sharp then. Further along, we've got murders, muggings, and poverty.
The newspapers feed on sensation. Remember that in darkness, even a small spark can be seen clearly. Even I can feel hope from all the people riding with us. Can't you?
Even without my powers, I can tell that hope is bringing people here from all three petitions. Miners, steelworkers, governesses, maids, speculators, thieves. I've forgotten to read a few of our fellow passengers' possessions, and I know that hope can have many faces.
Will you share that knowledge with me?
There's a terrified woman riding with us. She's either running away or in hiding. I think that gentleman is smuggling something, because excitement is all mixed up with guilt inside him. And this dandy, he's going whoring.
If there's something I've learned in life, Victor, it's never to neglect the whores.
Warsaw, end of the line. Welcome to Warszawa.
I think the time's come to ask where you plan to stay.
I'll let you know when I come up with something.
When people unite, empires fall. Why such a crowd?
The circus has come to town.
These are troubled times. Brothers turn against brothers. Russia has had enough bloodshed. The violence must stop. When socialists attempt to divide Russia and her subject nations, to dent the sword that smote the enemy at Grunwald, this demands my decisive action. Thus, by my grace, I hereby appoint as Governor General of Warsaw, Georgi Antonovich Skowon.
A butcher.
Warsaw! The time for leniency and indulgence is over. From the moment this office is bestowed on me, no forces hostile to the subjects of Greater Russia will have any further right to exist. None! Whether it be brutal socialist subversives, communists, Jews, or other satanic provocators.
He sure knows how to unite a crowd.
Pardon me. Are you Polish?
Yes, I feel Polish. My name's Victor.
Wanda.
This is Russia here. Like it or not. Warsaw. Время террора закончилось.
Иди нахуй!
My first decision as Governor General of Warsaw. Arrestować.
Great heroes in their sense of timing. Of course, now they're the first ones in the fight.
Samoobladanie, Poliaki. We won that rebel. The Landmount.
Damn.
What happened?
Be a gentleman. Please kneel and tie my shoe.
I didn't dare suggest it myself.
Can I ask you a tiny favor? The Russians can't find out about this. The military is just looking for an excuse to suppress the crowd, and these workers are dreaming of thrashing a Russian gendarme.
Either one of you confesses to disturbing the peace, or всех забирай. We'll take you all in.
You can't handle all of us.
Can you get us out of here?
I think I'm open to any kind of suggestion.
With a book like that, I'd find out what would convince one of these bastards to let us go. Or I'd take on that self-appointed leader of the proletariat.
Interesting strategy. For instance, I could disclose to a soldier that you came here with ammunition under your skirt.
Maybe we should see who they believe. A respected lady of Warsaw, or a common magician who just 100 years ago would have been burned at the stake.
Well, since you asked so nicely. Who are you, really?
A damsel in distress.
Those don't usually hide ammunition in their stockings.
Can I explain it to you another time?
I'm going to take a look around.
Do you think it's a good idea to stir people up and send them to face bullets and bayonets?
What do you want then? My whole life on my knees? Kissing Ruski's ass?
I was trying to keep from dragging ordinary people into the fight. They won't expect us to strike first. How many are coming with us?
Let's see for ourselves.
Alles gut.
Name?
Szulski. Victor.
One of those Shulskis?
Yes.
My condolences. Now, profile.
Thank you.
What you pissing in the bucket for, asshole?
Where else am I supposed to?
Brown in the bucket, whiz on the wall.
You better remember that, too. That bucket's gonna last you guys till tomorrow.
Can I use the phone?
What are you staring at, Ganef?
I don't know what that means. Quit squealing. First time in the big city? Have some respect if you don't know who you're running your mouth at. He's one of them that went after the Ruskies with his bare fists.
I showed a couple of Russian soldiers when I think about the partitions.
I have moments like that sometimes.
And I gave it to some Ruskies in the kisser, too. There's this red-bearded fella sitting there. I glassed him in the face, then kicked him in the bean, and wham! On the floor. And I pinched his billfold, too.
Did anybody ask you? Shut your damn trap. Well, are you from somebody?
What about you, guys?
Sonny, I've still been running the protection racket with Crook at the Ruzhitsky Bazaar. My dad used to work for him. But that was back in the day. Apart from that, I stay straight. I only hassle the Ruskies when I get a little loaded.
And I'm with the Shivs.
Bullshit! You ain't with the Shivs. Don't you go talking crap about the Shivs, cause I know them. You better give a fuller explanation, cause I lose respect real quick. I'm sensitive about folks like that. Who you from?
I don't really get what you're asking.
Good thing you're asking and not just running your mouth, like some people. The question is, do you got a backer in town? You set up with somebody? Do you work for somebody?
My name's Viktor Shulsky, and I work on my own behalf.
All right. Respect.
First of all, I am a thaumaturge.
Now them, I got respect for. I know one really decent Jew from Povishla, who's a wizard too.
How about you? You got a foreskin or what?
Is my foreskin any of your fucking business?
Well, no. I was just...
Schmuck. But you don't look like much of a Warsaw lad.
I'm just here for my father's funeral.
I hope you don't miss the funeral toasts. Welcome to Warsaw.
I wouldn't call you a master strategist.
You got away from the station, so theoretically, we achieved our goal.
You're not losing your sense of humor. I guess this isn't your first time in a place like this, is it?
You'd better tell me if you managed to get rid of your ammunition.
If I hadn't, I'd already be locked up at the Citadel. I admit your behavior did successfully distract the Ruskies.
You're welcome.
All right then. What's such a gorgeous, hairy mug doing in a crummy place like this?
We've got a little time to kill. Maybe now you can tell me more about yourself. You seem to know your way around this setting. You been here often?
I'll take that as a compliment. And sure, sometimes, if the cause demands it.
What cause?
Let's say I know certain folks who'd find pulls like you useful.
Dealers in stolen Dutch pomade?
Donut connoisseurs. They met at Burke Rotblitz's cafe.
I don't want to jinx it, but do you spend time there too?
If I'm not there, no one will want to talk to you. And don't worry, I don't usually hang out long in places like this.
Shulsky!
I see you won't be hanging out here long either.
Shulsky, this yours?
That's right.
Then take it and get out of here.
Can I ask why the sudden change of plans? Anyone I should thank?
If
If he wants to, he'll tell you himself.
Thank you. I'm sure you don't remember me. My name's Hayat, Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences. Thank you. Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Shulsky took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away? Was that his cause of death? His heart? Why are you so interested in my father's cause of death? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
I think I ought to arrest you, Thaumaturge.
I haven't done anything, officer. What's the problem?
I barely recognize you either. You still haven't figured out who I am? Don't be surprised. The last time we saw one another was 20 kilos ago.
Uncle Voronian?
I will not keep you. The guy's probably all alone back there, among those vultures circling Stasio. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. Go on. We'll talk later.
Sister?
Victor. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad too. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly. Look at yourself. What happened?
I took a short trip to a Warsaw jail.
What? Are you joking? During the funeral? Are you all right?
Everything's fine, don't worry. Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Fine, let's get this over with. So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago. After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absolved, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better. Definitely closer to the truth. The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream, you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 salutors. I'm sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother, because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia, because she wasn't born a boy. Me, because I was born a thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now... Farewell, Father.
Am I intruding?
What do you want?
Well, what do people come to funerals for? I came to pay my respects to the dead. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Szulski, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
I haven't had time to think about it.
I understand. I hope you'll find some reason to stay here a little longer. Again, my condolences.
I didn't catch your name.
My name's Kanieczkin. Ivan Kanieczkin. Goodbye.
Such interesting friends you had. I guess I'm more tired than I thought. Grandpa Nicolem, a thaumaturge. I barely remember him. Great-grandmother Josefina, a thaumaturge. We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Szabłowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
We're twins, my dear lady.
The Szulskis reunited. You don't look like a horrid cripple. Why did you leave Warsaw so quickly?
Don't tell her anything. She'll write whatever she wants anyway. And we'd better get going.
I can sort it out, but it might cause you some trouble.
It's not worth getting your hands dirty over.
Get out of here, or I might decide you're attacking an Imperial official, and you'll wake up tomorrow in the Citadel.
Are you threatening me, Judge?
I'm actually spurring you from him. Would you rather try your luck with a thaumaturge? Come on, children. I'm sure my Pietia is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna dear. Let the guests wait. First, I want to take care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her.
Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time.
It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietia! Forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stasio's. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure. How did it go? Mission accomplished?
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasio's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasio and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone? I suppose there's no reason to bear grudges or be angry, is there? To Stasio?
To an easy death.
Familiar faces keep vanishing from my life. Stasio and my Helena before him. I miss my little darling. I miss them both. Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
You'll all have to wait for me a moment yet.
All right, but hurry up.
I am ready, Mr. Shulsky. I only need all of you to be present. Can we start reading your father's will?
Yes, let his will be done. Again.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Shulsky's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen. Therefore, my first irrevocable wish is to appoint as executrix of this will my daughter, Ligia Shulska. Immediately after my death, an inventory shall be conducted in full accordance with the law. After completing the inventory, all my personal movables will be sold at public auction. And let the funds raised thereby be donated on the anniversary of my death to the beggars near that cemetery. The administration of the remainder of my fortune I leave, without restriction, to the person of my daughter, Ligia.
I'm not even getting a teaspoon.
All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. I wish that the business should be conducted with modesty, prudence, and honesty, as I have conducted it my whole life.
A joker to the very end.
To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement. Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Victor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina. I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Shulsky, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Shulsky used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared? Did father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps. In all that confusion?
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
So that's where it is. I've seen this place. I'd rather not imagine what condition you found Father in there.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
He died as he lived, miserably. He couldn't have met a more fitting end after what he did to me. What he did to the Niedzic's family.
You've got to know that Papa felt guilty, even if he didn't say so outright. I'm not going to defend him, but I can't criticize him either. Even I don't know what really happened back then with Aborice.
An accident is what happened, and Father treated 2 kids like the worst disgraces in the world. As if it had been premeditated.
When a person dies so suddenly, their unfinished business remains. We'll never learn what Stasio carried in his heart.
What do you intend to do?
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konieczkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
And Mordechai Chayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at our, well, my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish. Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The lone shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if his shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check. Hello?
I talk here? Do you hear me now? Victor? Victor, are you there?
Grigori? Yes.
Victor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Incredible.
How did you know I have a telephone at home?
Something's interrupting you, Victor. I am telecommunicating with you to say I found lodgings here in Warsaw. If you need me, I'm by the cemetery. What number is it? Yes. 7 Powaskowska Street. Number 7 by cemetery. Powaskowska.
I'm glad. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you as well. Goodbye. I want to end now. What do I... like this? Wonderful device. Remarkable. Hello? Oh, and now?
Have you found anything yet about the grimoire? Is there any way I can help?
The trousers are an original style. Until now, I'd only seen women in trousers in the East.
First of all, they're practical. It's the 20th century. It's high time we started dressing comfortably.
You've always been brave, never afraid of anything or anybody. Like when Mother almost had a fit because you dunked my best tie in hot cocoa.
I didn't care that she was angry. I wanted to get you back for not wanting to play with me.
Because you were being too annoying.
You meant to say brave. By the way, Grażyna still makes cocoa every evening. You can conjure up the flavor of childhood if you want. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
What's next for you? You're in charge here now. Have you got some kind of grand scheme?
A grand scheme? For now, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Certain customers are unconvinced that a woman can handle running a business. What's worse, a woman without powers. You know what I mean. A thaumaturge at my side would shut them all up. After all, it's your heritage too.
I don't know anything about running a company, but if I can help in any way, you can count on me.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I trust the smoke doesn't bother you.
You used to detest the smell of tobacco. You'd hold your breath going into Father's study.
That's true, but when I'd stay here, alone with Papa, and somehow over the years I got used to it. I don't know when I started copying him even.
Daddy's girl. You were always closer to him.
That's not true. I was just less rebellious than you, his thaumaturge son. Now come on, what else is on your mind?
In Father's study, I found a trace of a woman that I couldn't identify.
Probably Svetlana Rumiantseva.
Who is she? And what does Father have to do with her?
Svetlana is a Russian aristocrat who travels with the Romanovs' court. I can only tell you she was a customer of Father's.
A customer? If you don't want to say, then don't. Where can I find her?
When she's in town, she stays at the Imperial Hotel.
She might know something that will help me find the grimoire.
Not so fast. To get in, you're going to need me and my connections. Svetlana is famous for her soirees where she hosts the crème de la crème of Warsaw.
What's a soiree?
How long did you say you lived with Mother in Paris? Just a party, if you like. Do you know what that is?
Very funny.
We could go together. How about you track down some evening clothes and I'll sort out the invitation. And I won't take no for an answer.
Sadly, you never give me a chance. Unfortunately, everything in my wardrobe is antediluvian. I need a tailor.
There's a shop at 11 Pruzhna Street that's fairly decent and quick. We also have barbers in Warsaw in case you want to do something about whatever you have growing on your head and face.
Master Victor, let me guess. Have you come for some hot cocoa?
Yes, a cup of cocoa would do me good.
Help yourself. The pot is in the salon, along with some of your favorite cookies. It's been an age since we've seen one another. I'm glad you're back. Mistress Ligia is really struggling with everything.
And so, the great Stanisław Szulski is dead, crushed by a building. Can't say I'd wish a death like that on anybody.
An awful death. Sheer cruelty. Mr. Szulski didn't deserve it. Now all we can do is think back on what a wonderful man he was.
That won't take long. So, this death, what do you make of it, Grażynka?
I'll tell you in confidence, Master Szulski. Now,
I'm a simple woman, but something about your father's death doesn't sit right with me.
How do you mean, Grażynka?
Don't you suspect some impure powers had a hand in it?
Do you mean it could have something to do with thaumaturge?
That I don't know. Look at us jabbering while there are potatoes not peeled. Forgive me, Master.
Ligia won't open up to me, but how is she doing?
She's having a rough time, the poor dear. Her heart is heavy, though she doesn't show it. But she's strong. She keeps her chin up and doesn't give in. And it's good she's got you to help now, Master. Only she's started smoking like a chimney. She takes after her father, no question about it.
Another time, Grażynka. I'll get out of your way.
Always ample work, but I can always snatch a moment for a chit-chat with you, Master.
Excuse me? Damn it. I forgot to turn the key. Sorry, what? You tell me. What is it? I couldn't help noticing you're struggling for inspiration. You've got a keen eye. The book makes it easier? I have to guess what everyone has in their mind.
Is there any way I can help?
I want to know what people look for in fashion these days. Back in the day, all you needed was 2 padlocks and a space for your Johnson. I don't know what else there is to it. If you tell me that, I'll be grateful. I'll sew you anything you want in return.
Let me sharpen my senses. I need some evening wear, quick.
Good proportions.
Thank you.
Alterations won't take long. Your name and address, sir?
Viktor Szulski, 9 Green Square.
I'll send a messenger when I'm done. And Mr. Szulski, if you'll allow me a moment of candor, as it often seems no one dares to address you with it.
Sorry, what?
Go and find yourself a barber in Pavonsky. You look like a troglodyte. Now, I'd like to go to my business.
I won't bother you.
All right.
Come in.
Please, set my hair to rights.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I don't usually talk to clients. Do you like it?
I can't help noticing that you're the most tight-lipped barber I've been to. And even you admit that you rarely talk to clients. Why is that?
When I prepared them for their final journey, it's hard to ask for their opinion.
So you style the deceased too?
Mostly. They still need to look good. After all, you only get a funeral once in your lifetime. So, what do you think? Do you like it?
I'm not sure.
Maybe too much pomade. You know, it's all the rage now. But that's all right. We'll change it. I'm sorry. I don't usually talk to clients. Do you like it?
Yes, you're talented.
Years of practice. My clients are always satisfied.
You will be mine, secret. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I see you went to a barber. That's something at least.
Recently I met a bearded guy who's not especially fussy about his appearance. And yes, people welcome him everywhere with open arms anyway.
Maybe he's a natural charmer. I've heard that can get you into the Imperial even without a tailcoat.
Very funny.
Are you getting dressed so we can go, or have you changed your plans?
Yes, let's go and see if I do fit in.
In that case, I'll go get changed too. Look at you. And here I worried I was the only one who looked good in trousers. Very chic choice.
Thank you. You look fantastic.
Thank you. You think Papa would be mad that we're going to a party right after his funeral?
I hope so.
Victor.
He could have kept from losing the Black Grimoire. Are we ready?
Yes, the carriage is waiting.
Welcome to the Imperial Hotel. How may I help you?
Ligia Shulska, here on the invitation of Svetlana Rumiantseva.
Yes, we are expecting you, of course. The soiree is taking place in apartment 237, second floor. I wish you a thrilling and successful evening.
I'm impressed. How did you sort that out?
Our name still means something. Let's do our best to keep it that way, all right?
Who are you, my golden, slithering friend?
Victor? Victor. Victor! Can you hear me?
Yes. Of course.
These people are just waiting for us to put a foot wrong, understand? We're walking into the Viper's Den, brother.
Everything's all right. I just got a little lost in thought. I'll be good, I promise. I'm going to hang around here a little longer. I'll meet you upstairs.
See you there.
What did we come here for? These soirees are for old people.
Good evening. May I?
Please, we're not discussing anything consequential.
You keep on worrying about yourselves. I intend to make the most of this evening.
See, I told you he was in love. Miss Scowan is out of your league, my friend.
To say nothing of her father.
Old Scowan and I are practically on first-name terms now. You'll see.
I'm sure.
So, one eye-catching girl has already got an admirer. What does that leave us, Maxime?
Not much. The dull, the silly, or, well, the old.
En parlant de Ligia Shulska, she just passed this way.
Pigs will fly before someone fancies her.
She'd actually prefer Sophia Scowan, according to what I've heard. Well, what do you think?
My name is Viktor Shulski.
Well, there we have it.
And I don't like what I just heard, especially about my sister.
And, what are you going to do about it?
Pardon me, gentlemen. I promised that I would be well behaved tonight.
Lunatic.
Well, well, someone new.
Good evening.
Good evening, Viktor Szulski.
Irina Orlova of those Orlovs. This is Natalia Obolenskaya, and this strangely quiet soul is our delightful Sofia Skawan.
Irina is exaggerating. Nice to meet you, Mr. Szulski.
The Governor General's daughter herself. How do you do?
What can you tell us?
How are you enjoying yourselves?
We can't complain. Seeing as we're debutantes, we're getting a lot of attention.
Really?
Maybe you'll tell us something about yourself.
I suspect you want to hear more about the book.
We've never met a thaumaturgist before. To tell the truth, I didn't believe they existed.
A thaumaturge. Don't worry. But now you do.
Well, it depends on what kind of trick you show us, Mr. Szulski.
I need to slip away for a moment.
Oh no, what a shame. Isn't that our Mr. Szulski?
I need to slip away for a moment.
Oh no, what a shame.
Mr. Szulski?
I didn't expect to see you here, of all places.
You don't know how very flattering that is. And what brings you to the Imperial?
If I may, there's one question niggling at me. How did you get so many scars?
Why do you ask?
I've heard that Russian officers in training have drunken duels with sabers after hours.
No. A very peculiar custom, if that's true.
So where did those scars come from?
I've led an interesting life.
I could ask you the same question.
I'm passing the time.
Ah, curious hobby.
I'm simply interested in people.
Do you know these circles well?
They're not hard to figure out. A gang of none-too-bright layabouts, chasing amusement after amusement after amusement.
Do you feel part of that gang?
I'm not one of them. And neither are you. Nor was your father.
The cream of Warsaw society is here, so I thought it would be worth showing my face.
With a name like yours, I'm sure you fit right in. After all, someone must have invited you.
I'm not worthy. My sister brought me along out of pity, I think.
And so, Miss Ligia is here too.
Why do you ask?
No reason. What are you hoping for this evening?
Who knows? Maybe I'm keeping an eye out for the future Mrs. Szulska.
Best of luck. You'll need it, since Ligia ended up with the entire inheritance.
How do you know all these things?
People talk, I listen. That's all.
Who are you, really?
Just someone who wants to enjoy himself at a party.
Who did you say you were to my father?
A trusted acquaintance. I supported him with good advice. Though truth be told, he rarely needed it. Your father had a gift for making good decisions.
Which of my father's decisions would those be?
Ones that were good for your family. Perhaps we'll have the chance to return to this another time. Goodbye, Mr. Shulsky.
Yes, I'm sure. Thaumaturge never fails me. There is something here.
Maybe that's enough. What do you want?
The trick with entering someone's head. I know one person who can do that.
You're not much of a thaumaturge if you can't. Have you come here to torment me? Unmask me?
I don't see any fun in unmasking you.
So what do you want?
I think your idea of pretending to be a medium is fantastic.
It sounds like I impress you.
How many people know?
Is that a threat?
Your serum is quite impressive.
Flattery will get you nowhere.
Madame, you're being impolite. What about a little competition? We'll see who wins.
I'll pass.
I noticed a wild salutor here. I understand your being here has something to do with him in particular.
Keep your nose out of this.
Why?
Because I'm warning you.
What do you know about this salutor? Do you know its name?
Don't you?
A name doesn't tell us much anyway. All that matters is picking out the person in this crowd with the flaw.
I know perfectly well who carries the flaw. Another reason for you to stay out of it.
That's not such a ladylike tone, madame. Maybe we should just let the best one catch that salutor.
You mean yourself?
The person with the flaw attended the seance, right? So I'm on the right track.
Have you finished?
So should we finish up?
That would be best. And listen to me carefully, Mr. Whatever your name is.
Shulsky, but you can call me Victor.
Now, Mr. Shulsky, you will vanish like a bad dream, and I will get back to work.
here you are.
Gentlemen, meet my brother.
Viktor Szulski.
The last Szulski to wear trousers. You don't know that. Miss Ligia could yet produce an heir to the fortune. Maybe even with me, if she doesn't tell my wife. But let's talk like men. You intend to take over your father's company, correct?
First, I suggest you mind your own business. Your marriage, for instance. Perhaps Louisa isn't the ninny you take her for.
I beg your pardon?
Hasn't it occurred to you that when you leave her at home, she might also take advantage of her solitude?
What are you suggesting?
You've got a cuckold's horns. Was I being too subtle?
I suppose it's true what they say about you.
Yes? What's that?
You've lost your mind.
Thank you. I've worked long and hard at that.
Good luck with your business, miss.
I almost feel sorry for them.
Have I crossed the line?
Nonsense. Any progress with Svetlana?
Sofia Skawan, the Governor General's daughter. Do you know her?
No, and I don't suggest you make her acquaintance either. Skawon can't stand thaumaturges.
I've taken a long, deep look at Samira. She's no medium. Samira is a thaumaturge on the hunt.
On the hunt?
Madame has spotted a salutor that's attached to one of the guests.
What kind of salutor?
Remember those fairy tales Mother used to read us? And the legend of the golden snake?
Yes, Veles.
Yes. I'm glad you're here.
Are you also hunting for him?
I admit I like to have him. I haven't made up my mind.
Be careful.
I am. That's why I haven't made up my mind. Guess who I ran into again? All mysterious and carved up.
Ivan Konieczkin?
What do you know about him?
Not much. He was an acquaintance of Papa's. Well, in theory, it's thanks to him that we're here.
What? Ligia?
I know that nothing comes for free, but he really didn't want anything.
Yeah, he looks like a real altruist. You enjoying yourself in this Viper's den?
The vodka is quite tolerable. I'm observing my own brother taking out his anger on ordinary mortals.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going.
And the general says to him, "Tell us something funny." Then Bautski replies, "General, why don't you shoot a cannon first?"
That's a good one. I'll have to tell it tomorrow at the Orloffs.
Who might this be joining our conversation?
You know, sir, your face looks familiar to me.
My name is Viktor Szulski.
Ah, yes, I can see something in your eyes. I was sorry to hear about your father.
I'll see you next time, darling. Wonderful party.
See you there.
I think I've offended the creme de la creme of Warsaw.
This is hardly the creme de la creme. How do you find my soirée?
How is it, being part of the Tsar's court?
It is a blessing and a curse. Forgive me if I do not elaborate.
I admit I'm getting reacquainted with the social scene.
You spent a long time traveling, didn't you?
15 years. Over that time, I got used to harsher surroundings.
Believe me, drawing rooms can be just as dangerous as untamed steppes. You've met Anastasia and Marina. What about the others?
I've already met several distinguished guests. Madame Samira definitely stands out.
She is exceptional, isn't she? Her presence is the crowning glory of the evening. Has anyone else caught your eye?
Ivan Konieczkin, for instance. Apparently, he knew my father.
How remarkable. I wasn't aware. Konieczkin is something of a secretive person. And have you yet had occasion to meet the debutants of this season?
I'll be sure to seek them out.
This evening, Sofia Skowan herself is to grace us with her presence.
Well, well.
I suggest you move quickly. The competition is fierce.
The crux of the matter is that I'm here because of my father. You knew him.
That doesn't sound like a question. Of course, I was his customer. I truly am sorry for you. Both of you. The death of someone close is always a dreadful blow. Please accept my condolences.
Svetlana Petrovna, I must insist. Can you tell me something more about my father?
Mr. Shulsky, I assure you we have the most delectable vodka. Besides that, I warmly encourage you to join Madame Samira's séance. It will be an unforgettable experience. I wonder, is that truly everything our soirée can offer you?
I've got no choice but to suffer through tonight.
No need to mince words.
I felt something. Where is it? I was looking for you.
Do you smoke, Mr. Shulsky?
I've quit.
In light of our approaching conversation, why don't we dispense with the pleasantries? Call me Svetlana.
Victor.
Ask.
That large travel chest. You changed your mind.
About whether or not to pack. Right then, I wanted to escape badly, but that would have had its own consequences. In this game of false appearances, I'm the best.
The burned note. Who sent it? I only sensed underhanded kindness.
Da, the Ochrana. I don't know which one of them exactly, if that's what you're asking. I've worked hard at it.
The Ochrana?
It stands for Отделение по охранению общественной безопасности и порядка. In other words, the secret police.
I know what they are. I'd like to know what they want.
Knowledge. The Tsar's eyes and ears must be on guard. They infiltrate not only the city, but most importantly, the court. And me and my soirees too, I'm sure.
When did you receive this note?
A few weeks ago, back before your father.
I see. You two had an affair.
Two grown-up, lonely people found momentary comfort in each other's arms. But romance wasn't behind that relationship. It was just that we were both looking in the same direction.
What do you mean by looking in the same direction? I still don't know how this lovely note ended up in your hands. But in addition, I found a lovely strings of pearls, and on it, your feelings of guilt.
Your power is terrifying. Do you know that?
Tsarina Alexandra gave you those pearls. You two are close.
I am her confidant. I could call her my friend. I see how much she devotes to her family and the nation.
Yet, something has changed. Your feelings of guilt. Do they have something to do with Tsarina Alexandra?
With the whole empire. Ruski mir im podawaj. We, the establishment, perceive the need for change. We want reform. The Colossus is already teetering, but if it falls... La guillotine, mon chéri. But I want to live, Victor. Ideally, closer to the west.
Where was my father in all this?
Willingly or otherwise, he was part of the establishment that wanted change and could see revolution before it arrived.
The Ochrana knew about you, hence the note.
They must have noticed something. Isn't it time you told me why you really came to my soirée?
Do you think the Ochrana killed my father?
Your father was crushed by a building. I don't think that's how the Ochrana works.
Perhaps you're right. What do you intend to do now?
Nothing. The soirées will continue. Society has come to expect it. Everything will stay the same. I myself shall manage.
I hoped you might know something about the Black Grimoire. My father left it to me in his will, but the grimoire has gone missing.
No. And the collapsed building? Have you been there?
There's nothing there.
My dear boy, I know nothing about Stanisław's book. I'm sorry, but I can't help you there. But I will not let you leave empty-handed. I strongly believe that there's one place you ought to visit. What you find there belongs to you.
Thank you.
No, thank you for listening.
Veles. Don't run away.
Splendid ladies, distinguished gentlemen, the hour is at hand. With lights dimmed and the curtains drawn, the souls of the dead slowly gather among us. On their command, I will give the chosen among you a tarot card as your invitation to the table.
For you, sir?
Fool. Our dear madame is fooling around and thinks you can scare me off. I'm done wasting time on this.
Let us gather in secret ritual. Let's not keep the souls waiting too long. Let us also make every effort together not to spoil their visit.
Mr. Shulsky, may I have a word?
How can I help?
My friends and I are just playing Truth Order, and now it's my turn. Won't you dazzle me with your powers?
Your father would not be thrilled about you playing games with the Thaumaturge.
Maybe that's precisely the point. To keep violating his wishes?
First, please tell me the rules of this game.
Of course, I'm being silly. After all, you've been away a long time. It's simple. Each player in turn must admit a truth or accept a dare. Anyone who doesn't must drop out of the game and thereby loses. And I don't like to lose.
I would guess that to you, a dare would be the lesser of two evils.
How very perceptive. It involves finding out my comrades' secrets, Irina, Maxim, or Sergei. The trick is that you're cleverer at it than I am.
I accept.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Let me see what I can find. Will any secret do?
Any. I'll wait anxiously for your return.
I'll take a look around.
They're getting impatient. What have you found out?
As far as Sergei,
Yes?
I'll be honest. He'd do anything for you.
Anything, you say?
Miss Irina would like to get to know Maxim better, but she keeps hesitating.
What? She never told me. Some friend she is. And what does our dear Maxim think of that?
Oh, I was wondering where you'd gone off to.
You know Sergei, don't you?
We're already acquainted.
Mr. Shulsky and I have completed my extra difficult dirt together.
At your service.
Now time for truth. Are you seeing anyone?
Maybe we should not reveal all our secrets to one another right away.
Mr. Shulsky, our time is up. Sophia and I must leave for the seance. Madame is waiting.
Thank you once more.
See you. Therefore, Veles chased Sofia Skawan and her floor here. She seemed like such an innocent girl, didn't she? It's no coincidence she focused on me. After all, old Skawan hates thaumaturges. The little scamp. If I want to discern that little schemer's flaw, I'll have to join that sepulchral table. Either her scheming or her jealous knight in shining armor will help me identify her flaw. I hope her father doesn't find out. Is this seat free?
The energy is dissipating. Ladies and gentlemen, I am losing contact with these souls.
Well, it was the souls that chose me after all.
It's true. The gentleman has a card.
Let us lay our hands on the table. Let us allow our minds to liberate themselves from our bodies toward the edges of the world as you know it.
Are you thinking of someone exceptional whom you wish to summon?
That's exactly the sort of person I had in mind.
Oh, is it a long-lost love?
Rather a future delightful acquaintance.
Leave her alone.
Sergei, this has nothing to do with you.
Dear guests, I implore you, the souls!
Is that jealousy I hear?
Stand here, right now!
I accept the challenge right now.
Focus on someone you want to make contact with.
Would a duel make you happy, miss? Between this poor man and me?
Are you all going to fight now?
Choose a location.
A duel over me would be truly beyond exciting.
Yes, I think so too.
Don't you dare! You were supposed to stay away. I was supposed to leave here with Veles. All that work for nothing.
Spare yourself the trouble. It was a fair fight.
But I don't intend to hold you here. Truth be told, I even feel sorry for you.
What does that mean?
Rid yourself of the pride you've got within. Otherwise, it will lead you to the gallows.
Enough of this. There's a salutator waiting for me.
Enjoy him, fool.
Rasputin sees you. Then you'll stop fighting me.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this evening the souls were particularly restless.
The souls have now told me everything I needed to hear.
And you, sir, what can you tell us?
Sergei, please wait a moment.
Mr. Shulsky, there are only so many humiliations a gentleman can tolerate. I have reached my limit. Congratulations to you both.
I can see I won't convince you. I have to explain myself. It was me who provoked the whole situation. Sergei didn't have anything to do with it.
But what was all this for?
What's going on here? The guests are complaining, and with good cause, I see. We're terminating this disaster.
One moment. First, Mr. Shulsky will explain himself.
For my own, freely chosen reasons. I was looking for something here, and I found it. I regret that it was at someone else's expense.
Enough wistful chatter. Will the gentleman with a book be leaving peacefully, or should we show him out?
No need, I can make it to the door. Madame, honored guests.
Victor, don't scare me like that.
Mr. Shulsky, are you all right?
I think it's time for us to go.
I'll snug us a carriage.
You'll have a hard time at this hour. I'll drop you off.
See, you can always count on Mr. Konieczkin.
Victor. Thank you. That's very polite.
thank you for an interesting evening.
Are you angry?
I need to rest.
I'm sorry it all turned out like this.
Not tonight, please.
Ligia. Good night. Oh my, that sure is noisy. Hello?
Hello? Hello? Victor?
Speaking.
Victor, Uncle Sasha here. How are you? Have you visited your old stomping ground yet?
I've rediscovered some things, like a comfortable bed. The city has changed a lot, as have we all. The most important thing to me right now is retrieving my father's grimoire.
Your grimoire. I wish you luck, boy.
Is there any specific reason why you're calling me?
I need your help, boy. It's a very delicate matter. Are you able to find a moment for your uncle?
Maybe now would be a good time to explain it, since you're calling.
It's not something to discuss over the phone. They keep switching those lines. You never know who's listening.
All right, so where should we meet?
Remember where I took you kids for donuts?
I do.
Let's meet there. Maybe we can reminisce about the old days. Better days. See you then, Victor. Thank you.
hello.
Indeed, fanciable.
Up close, I would even say a solid 8, wouldn't you?
I don't know. We'll see when he turns around. Eight it is.
Will you show us something more?
May I ask what you ladies are doing?
What everyone does. We're evaluating.
A solid 8?
You know, on a scale from 1 to 10, you look quite spiffy, sir.
Why are you schmoozing with some sucker who's already suited and booted for his own funeral? And you, lousy fop, got an itch in looking for some philandering at the Marble Orchard, are you?
6, 5...
0. There's nothing here for you. Mr. 8 got some you-know-what, so he caught our eye. And vice versa, I can tell.
Get ready for some shellacking, lads. We got a dandy looking for some extra ventilation. And, as luck would have it, not too far from the orchard either.
Sir, you have the unique opportunity of becoming a 10.
Yes, sir?
Please let me in. It's urgent.
You can't just turn up like this. What will I tell sir and madam?
Fear not, I'm here for Rasputin.
I can sense he's in the drawing room.
Intriguing.
Is that him?
In the flesh. Allow me to introduce you. My dear hostess, Aniela Naradzinska, and my dear friend, Viktor Szulski.
Your father had a beautiful funeral.
Thank you.
My dear, we finished for today. Now I'll find out what brings Viktor to us. What brings you here?
But you were the one who phoned.
Very funny.
Why was she looking at me so oddly? What did you tell her about me?
She's never seen a thaumaturge before. I only mentioned to her how we met. Can I help you at all?
You look like you've made yourself at home. Are you going to be staying on here for long?
No, I'm afraid not. They're kind people, but I've experienced another vision. Though not fully terrifying, it is troubling.
Will you tell me about it?
Later. What brings you to me?
Have you known them long?
No, but Aniela and Lucian are my two good souls. They took me, an impoverished preacher, in under their roof. And I'll never forget that.
Are you helping them too?
I am a balm for Aniela's frazzled nerves. But enough of that. Tell me what you need.
Actually, I don't feel great.
Let's see what you've brought with you this time. Close your eyes and focus on my words. Concentrate on my voice. Relax and focus within yourself. Follow my voice inside yourself. Do you see him? He's remarkable.
I can't tame him.
You can, and you will. Look, he's afraid of you. Calm your heartbeat. It will scare him off. Calm yourself. You look better. You slept a long time.
Yes, it feels that way. What year is it?
Still 1905. Yet time flows on inexorably.
No, I won't bother you. We can talk next time.
The Narezinski door is always open to you.